Welcome everybody to the Pink Ribbon Roller Coaster. I'm Sarah McLean and I'm with my friend Dawna Mainard today. She is with an organization, actually a business, called Wake Up with Makeup by Dawna. Just want to make sure I got it correct.
Yeah, you got it.
So Dawna has quickly become a really good friend of ours. She actually is a registered nurse and she has gotten into doing permanent makeup, specifically areola tattoos. So let's just start off first and tell me just a little bit of your history as a nurse.
Sure. So I've been a nurse since 1991, so quite a while. And how I got into permanent makeup is I worked in the cardiac care unit where we did procedures on the heart. And I was on call a lot. So if you get called in the middle of the night for someone who's had a heart attack and you're still there when your shift starts the next day, you're there all day with, the hair you slept in, the makeup that was put on the day before. So you're a mess. So my mother actually had permanent makeup. This was probably 25 years ago. And I thought she was out of her mind at the time. It wasn't even legal to get a tattoo in Oklahoma at the time. But she found another nurse that did her permanent makeup.
Wow.
And I thought,
I didn't even know it was around.
I know. I thought she was crazy at first. I tried to talk her out of it. I said, Mom, it's a tattoo on your face.
Yeah.
And after she had it, it looked so good. It looked just like makeup. And she's also a nurse. She was in dialysis, so she was on call a lot too. And so I saw how easy it was for her to work all night. Then she was up all day with her permanent makeup. It looked so natural, looked so good. And I thought, I have got to learn how to do this because I wanted it. So I actually got the very first tattoo license in Oklahoma. It wasn't legal to get body art tattoo, but you could do permanent makeup. And so I signed up for that class, got the very first tattoo license in Oklahoma.
What year was that?
That was in 2002.
Okay.
And the caveat to it was you had to work under a physician. So I work in a medical facility, a med spa. My med spa is called Bella May, love it here. And I have a medical director. Those laws are still on the books right now. So if you're looking for permanent makeup, make sure your artist is in a medical facility. That's the way you know she's working legal and she's licensed and it's all safe.
That's good.
So I got my license and got my permanent makeup. And so I started doing permanent makeup for all the nurses that I worked with in cardiac care. And the news spread quickly in the hospital. I was working for Integris, and so before long I had a legit business. I was doing all these nurses permanent makeup.
Awesome.
It was so much fun, and that was over 20 years ago, and I'm still doing permanent makeup. My background also is in art. I was drawing and painting before I could even write my name in cursive. I love all things art, and so that, you don't have to be an artist to do permanent makeup, but it certainly doesn't hurt, especially when it comes to 3D areola tattooing.
So how did you get into the areola?
I had seen a couple of 3D areola tattoos from a lady in the UK. And I didn't even know it was a thing. Just like permanent makeup, I just happened to come across it. And I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen, not only aesthetically, but what that could do for a woman.
Absolutely.
And as a nurse, it just, and an artist, that really struck me as something I not only wanted to do, but I felt I needed to do this. I have such a heart for women that have gone through, difficult times. I think that's part of what makes a really good nurse an exceptional person, because of the empathy and the caring that they have for other people. And especially for women, for me, being a mom, a grandma, a nurse, we're always taking care of somebody. And so that was just something I felt like I have the heart to do that. I have the expertise. I know how to tattoo, and I have got to learn how to do this. And so I reached out to this lady in the UK, and she came here to train me. And since this has been many years ago, since that time, I have taken at least a dozen different trainings from people all over the world that know different techniques. It's really important to understand a woman's journey. It's not just a tattoo. As a nurse, I've done a lot of research on the different types of cancers and the different types of surgeries and all the options that women have or don't have because of where they live, or their lack of knowledge, or their lack of support system. This is where God has really, really used Sarah, building this organization for women that don't have anybody to turn to.
Right.
All you have is what your doctor has told you. And a lot of people, our women, are just in shock. They don't even know how to do the research or where to go or what questions to ask. So this organization to me is huge. And I do lots and lots of areola tattooing. And I'm shocked at how many women don't know anything. They have no resources.
Yeah.
They have their support system at home. But you know, there are so many things that they could have that they don't know they need.
Right.
The physical therapy, the resources to have wigs, transportation, how to get on disability. There's so many things that are offered that women don't know. And a really good surgeon is really good at what he does. He does surgery, and they're aesthetically beautiful. But that's really all he has to offer sometimes.
Right.
And so there's organizations like Project 31 where Sarah and her team can come in and talk to these different surgeons and give them the resources that they need for you.
Well, that's like you.
And
So,
that's where I've come
yeah.
in.
Well, and we've talked about this before. I think I don't know if a lot of you guys out there have had your areolas tattooed or not, but I know my first diagnosis, you created the mound, and then we would come back and do the tattoo afterwards.
Right.
But then after my second diagnosis, you know, I really didn't see, personally, I didn't really need the mound to make me feel whole again. Although there was a season where I didn't have nipples anymore because we had cut them off again. And I was kind of, you know, deciding whether or not I even wanted to do it. And the moment that I realized that I needed to was when Steve and I were actually, my husband Steve and I were in a support group one night, and we were talking about it. And he just gently mentioned it, and it wasn't like he wanted me to get it done, definitely, but I took the cue and realized, okay, this might help him for me to look more normal that way. And so I decided I was going to go ahead and have them done, and it really did help me. It helped me to feel whole again, per se, and it just helped in my healing journey. And I get everybody's different, and it might not be necessary for all, but just to know that it is a resource that's available is huge. And just the 3D portion of it, that is what Dawna is amazing at. Just when she was talking about her artistry, it truly comes in. And we'll give you guys the contact info in a minute, but you need to jump on and look at just the results that she has. It's phenomenal. And I feel like probably people sitting in your chair, do you just really get to see that whole healing transformation just happening before your eyes?
Yeah, that's the beauty of what I'm doing. I'm a very fast tattooist, just like any type of art. I want to get started and do all the things. But with areola tattooing, I slow down and take my time. What you can expect when you come in, I have a couple hours set aside just for you. If you want to bring your partner, they're more than welcome. However you're comfortable. This is a process that we're going to do together. I know how to do the art. I know how important symmetry is. All of those things you can leave to me as an expert. But as far as the design, the shapes, when I say shapes, they can be round or they can be heart shaped, whatever you want. The colors are fun to play with. If you have a picture of what you look like before your surgery, bring it. Because your idea of really big or really small or really brown or kind of pink may not be the same as mine. We're going to get there, but it's easier if I see your picture and then you can say, you know, it's kind of a little too big, maybe a smaller areola, or I wish it was a little bit pinker or maybe darker. So it helps us get there a little bit easier if I see before. But we're going to work together on all of that, the shape, the color. I keep you involved. I just kind of lost my words right there, but I want you involved. This is a process for you. This is all about you. And there's some, you know, fun things that I can do as far as artistry. Some women I just want plain, you know, areola color and a nipple color, none of the fancy stuff. And then, but what's really fun is when you do want the fancy stuff. You know, God made us irregular. We're not perfect. Jesus was, but we're not. And so, you know, we can play with the different shapes. You have Montgomery glands. You have wrinkles. When you're cold, there's a little bit of wrinkling that goes on. The inconsistency of the colors. What you don't want is to look like you have two targets on your chest.
Right.
You know, a perfect circle with a perfect circle in the middle. I like the irregular colors, the wrinkles that you see, the dusty edges. All of that is what makes a 3D areola a natural looking areola. When you first have your surgery, you know, we talked about this earlier, you kind of look like a Barbie doll. Anatomically, you've got all the parts. They're perky. They're, you know, a lot of times prettier than they were before. But when you get out of the shower, you see Barbie standing there. She's got 2 breast mounds, and that's all. There's no character to it. You've gone through all the hard things, and you're ready for the rest of your life. Your journey to end and go on with your life. When you're dressed, you feel and look normal, but when you get out of the shower, maybe you have a lot of scars, maybe you have no scars, maybe it's just a blank slate, just the breast mounds. You're thankful for all that, but you just want to get back to normal. You feel normal, you want to look normal. That's where areola tattooing comes into play. Having that color makes them more realistic. It makes you feel whole again. You are whole. God made you perfect. No matter your journey, you're still perfect. But as a woman, you just want to see that color. And a lot of times, even if you have had several surgeries and you do have a lot of scars, that color will take your eyes away from those scars. And so that's what I feel blessed to be able to do, is give you that color back, give you that last journey of your healing process, and get you down the road. And we can also talk about the scars. You know, if you're interested in camouflaging those, or a little bit of needling to get, you know, some color back, we can talk about all that as well.
I mean, I'm just amazed at what you do and the hope that it brings to it. Really, you know, again, everybody's personal, but I do feel like for me personally, it was a true blessing. And so I'm grateful that we've gotten to meet you, and just your heart for people and the way you really do love your patients. It's awesome. So tell them how they can get in contact with you.
Well, I am in the south side of Oklahoma City, but people fly in from all over the country. If you want to reach out, my website is wakeupwithmakeup.com, and Dawna is spelled Dawna. Why I chose a big long name like that, I don't know. It sounded good at the time, but it's wakeupwithmakeup.com, Dawna. And I use the same name over social media. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, which is my favorite, and TikTok, just because I need to be with the crowd, with the people.
But she does you can see a lot of samples of what she does. And it's Dawna Mainard, Dawna Mainard.
Yes.
So if you guys want to jump on there and just see what she does and then reach out to her, she will be just delighted to be able to meet with you guys.
I would. And also, if you're not in Oklahoma or you aren't able to get to me, I have friends all over the country, even overseas, that do beautiful work, and I will find you an artist. We will get your tattoo. I work with a lot of the best surgeons in Oklahoma, so I see a lot of beautiful work, and I would love to help you. I truly would.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being with us today.
Thank
We're so glad you're here.
Thank you for coming to me.
Yeah.
I appreciate that a
I'm
lot.
excited to see what comes from it. So
Yeah.
we will see you guys next time.